Everyone has a right to the American dream.
For me, my American dream is really success, to be able to raise my kids in an environment that I feel safe, to be able to play a proactive role in my community and my environment in a positive way, which I believe I have. Be able to express, my love for God and my love for Christ without having to be criticized or judged for it, and to be able to have friends from all different walks of life help me in this journey.
For me today, what it is to maintain culture, to continue healing, to continue breaking cycles, and to go back to our traditional ways, to at least connect with those and revive them and make them strong, to pass them down to our future generations, to protect Mother Earth.
We all create a better world for everybody. Whether that better world is created by staying in your home country or by crossing a state or another country anywhere in the world, we are the example that we want other people to follow. So I say that we should act in a loving way to all communities, gay, straight, Christian, or Jew, and do that in actions, not in just words.
I feel that I am living the life that I really, really wanted to live. And it makes me really proud and happy to also encourage others to go after their passions, work hard at their talents, even if it seems unconventional.
For me, the American dream is living a life doing something that you absolutely love, living a level of income in which you have everything you need, but more than anything else is that what you're doing is impacting this world to make it better. That's, for me, is the American dream.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Groundhog Sam! Hey everyone, Groundhog Sam here! Man, I had such a weekend! First on Friday, it was Jenny from the Cubicle's birthday. We had a big celebration here in the office, and I even got her groundhog-sized cupcakes.
And then I went to the China Institute with Nesquik, and we celebrated the Chinese New Year together, and guess what? I even made a few new friends.
Hey, wait a second! I mean, how come you get your own holiday, and us mice, we only come around once every 12 years?
Wait a minute here, because I have a bone to pick with you. I was wondering why you get your own year and the groundhog doesn't.
That's an interesting story, right?
Yeah, I'm still wondering why there's no Chinese zodiac sign of the groundhog.
Then it was the Super Bowl! Wow, that was incredible! The halftime show was my favorite, that J-Lo and Shakira. I mean, really? Amazing. And then finally, it was Groundhog Day! Oh my God, the most exciting holiday of all! Well, guess what happened?
And it turns out none of us groundhogs saw our shadows. So that means spring is coming, people.
And now is the time you have all been waiting for! It's time for Brad Show Live, starring Brad Bernstein with co-host Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias and Vanessa Contreras. Yeah, people, I'm back! Groundhog's back! Groundhog's back!
Welcome, everybody. My name is Brad Bernstein. Where's everybody been for the last week? Jonathan?
Oh, I've been at work.
I've been here doing a show. Nobody showed up.
I'm here
literally talking to myself every day. There was no Brad Squad, no Yo-Yo, no Nesquik, no Chili Bean.
Do y'all believe that?
No. Hashtag fake news.
Right.
I was home with the flu, everybody.
Yeah, we sent him home.
We sent me home. Right. Jonathan said, he texted me, he said, you know what? You're the one with the flu right now. Do not be coming in here and infecting everybody.
Absolutely.
We will get ready for the show for next week.
Yes, and we're going to give them a powerful, dynamic show for
That
next
is right.
week.
And I still have a bit of a cough, so if I cough during the show, I'm okay.
You said
but
what?
I am told I'm told
You still coughing?
Yeah, I am told by the doctors that I am not contagious, so you don't have to worry. And you certainly, if you're watching at home or you're watching in your car, I can't get you sick through the monitor. Right?
And I'm the only one in this cage with this man. Dang.
This cage.
Yeah.
All right. Stargirl Mika, how are you? Jessica Leamy Joel, squad up. Earth Angel Keisha says, welcome back. Marcia McCullough saying hello. Jessica Leamy, she was the first one to share. We always know.
As usual.
We always know. Mintu Saab saying hello. Dion Reed is watching us at Lindo. What's up, Dion Watson? Tamika Nelson. Donna Bless. Marjorie Thompson. Maduk, squad up, everybody. And who else we got here? Kennedy Roy. Christy Consali saying she actually misses Sam the Groundhog. Sam has not been around for at least a good 6 months.
Where has he been?
He was locked in the stairwell. Did you hear the story?
Yeah, I did hear that.
Yeah, he was locked in the stairwell, poor guy. He smelled a pretzel in there and then got himself locked in there.
So he hasn't ate for 6 months?
Well, he had a lot of pretzels in that stairwell, but boy, he was a little stinky. He was a little stinky when we found him.
Yeah, I wonder who set that trap up.
I don't know. Hello, Javo Finnegan, Violet Blackwood, Squad Up Joe Titus, Cordella Douglas, Maurice Parker, Joan Grant, and on YouTube, 29 Super C, having a Super C evening. Good night. Like Danny Contreras, how are you? Backing up, Ricky. Alicia Henry says, we missed our favorite evening classes. Well, I missed you guys too. I'm glad I'm back. Donald Horton, Angela Rollins, Roy Kennedy, Max Santos, Simone Garraway, Fahad Siddiqui says, I hope you were feeling good, Uncle Brad. I am now. Thank you very much.
Nice.
Last week I thought I was dying.
It got really bad?
Had I been to China, I thought, I would have had that coronavirus. But since I have not been to China, thank God, I don't have it. Dominic Carter. And by the way, I asked my doctor when I went, because he's like, you have the flu. And I had the flu shot. You imagine you get the flu and you get the flu shot? And so I said to my doctor.
Wait, when did you get the flu shot?
I got it about 3 months ago. So it was, So I asked my doctor, I said, is this like the coronavirus?
Yeah, you were really scared about it?
Yeah, and what he said was, at least in New York as of last week, they don't have the capability of even testing for it.
What?
Yeah, believe it or not. He says, we don't know. We don't have the capability in New York. Some states do. Some states don't. So actually, there's an actual undercount, perhaps, of coronavirus in America right now, because not every state has a test for it as of yet.
That's kind of scary.
That is a little scary.
Yeah.
Well, when I get ready to schmooze, because we got a lot, we got a lot of show.
Yes.
Not only we got a lot of show, we got a lot of Groundhog today.
Yeah.
Groundhog is coming back in a big way, Yonathan. Why don't you tell everybody what they need to do while I get ready for some schmoozing?
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Guys, welcome and happy Black History Month to everybody. Of course, I want to say that because we're starting off the show with our first show for Black History Month. Now, everybody on Facebook, everyone on YouTube, everyone on Instagram Live, I need you all, look right down here, join the Facebook fan page. It is Facebook. It's a fan page where you guys can get a lot of different incentives that you won't get on other social media platforms. And the main one, the very main one, is you guys get first dibs on the questions. First 5 questions that we asked on social media will be from this page. All right. So nobody, I don't feel sorry for nobody if they say we don't get to your questions, because this is an easy way, and we don't even get all 5 every day. So you guys need to start taking advantage of this and join this Facebook fan page. Tell all your friends and family too as well. All right, now on Facebook, I need everybody to please start sharing. All right, I want to make sure that you guys are listening to me. We're going to prove to Brad that you guys are listening to me. You're not just looking at me, my pink and black shirt. You're going to actually look at my mouth and listen and let it go into one ear and stay in there. Don't let it go out the other ear. I need you guys to share to anybody's page, share to groups, share into inbox. Also, make sure you put in all your questions in the comment section right now. Like, love, smiley face, wild face, mad face, laughy face, whatever emotion you're feeling, make sure you show us that on the video, because we're going to have a lot of stuff that we're going to be talking about. All right, now on YouTube, first things first, I need you all to subscribe, all right? That red button that says subscribe and the little bell that's right next to it, I need you guys to press those. The little bell will give you a notification anytime we go on live. It will send you a notification to your phone, your tablet, your computer, whatever you're using. What's up?
We had running a Instagram contest last week, and we promised on Wednesday that we would pull out of our machine the winner for the free consultation.
Yeah.
Because I was sick and we were not able to do a show on Wednesday, we thus were unable to pick anybody out of the machine. Right. We are going to continue the contest, Yonathan, through this Wednesday.
Ooh.
2 weeks. But what we're going to do, because I didn't pull out of the machine last week, if we take something away, we got to give back.
Absolutely.
Right? There's a yin and a yang to everything.
There you go.
All right? So because we missed last week, I'm going to pull 2 names out of the machine. I'm going to give away 2 free consultations on Wednesday. Please also tell them on Instagram what they need to do to join.
All right.
Or to enter the
so
free
now you guys,
consultation contest.
Absolutely. That image that you just saw, I want to pull this back up. Go on our Instagram right now and look for this image. All right, when you go to this image, first, of course, you have to follow the page, then like this post right here. Now, the next thing, the number 3 thing, that's the most important thing is you have to tag 5 friends, all right? At least 5 friends. So when you tag 5 friends, we will put your name in the drawing once. When you tag 10 friends, we'll put your name in the drawing twice. If you tag 15 friends, we will put your name in the drawing 3 times. So it's very easy, all right? And I want you guys to make sure you put names that you have not tagged before, okay? Because we're gonna be checking, all right? So Brad said he will pull out 2. That is $400. That's $200 each consultation. You will get it with the man himself, all right? And now also on Instagram, I need you guys to please start sharing this video, DM this to everybody. Basically, any and everybody that you've been talking to on your DM list, send it to them. It doesn't matter if they need any help or not. They might know somebody that needs help.
Maybe they just need some fun in their life.
That's what I'm talking about.
Why don't you DM people who need some fun in their life?
Because we'll give them the fun.
I'm going to give them fun, and I'm going to give them education, and I'm going to give them knowledge, and some more fun.
There you go.
It's like a sandwich of fun, and in the middle is knowledge.
That's the best way to learn.
Right?
When you're not knowing that you're learning.
That's right.
All right, guys, let's find out what's going on in the world today. We're going to schmooze with Brad.
All right, so happy Black History Month.
Yes.
Jonathan and everybody out there, to all Americans, whether you're black or not.
Yeah.
Happy Black History Month, because we're all American, and quite frankly, what a contribution Black Americans have made to our society, right?
Absolutely.
And deserves a month, deserves a full year, deserves a decade.
Yeah, there you go.
Right? Why
Absolutely.
not, right? Do you know, by the way, Jonathan, or maybe you read this card?
Let's go ahead and try and see.
Did you read the card?
I did not read the card.
Okay, because honestly, I'm going to tell you the truth, and I feel I'm a learned man.
Okay.
But I didn't know the answer to this until I read this card.
What is it?
Do you know why? If you ask me why is Black History Month celebrated in February, I wouldn't know, because I would first think, well, Martin Luther King Jr., but his birthday was in January. So
and he died in April.
And he died in right. So why February? And I guess my only answer would be because that's how it was decided.
Right.
But there has to be a reason behind it. Do you know?
I don't know the reason.
I didn't know either, but according to this card provided to me by Groundhog Sam, he's given me all the information. The answer lies with eminent American historian Carter G. Woodson, who pioneered the field of African American studies in the 20th century. So he was the one who actually started studying Black American history. Before that, there was no such thing. You know, there was no, you go to college and you're like, oh, I'd like to learn about Black American history. Well, sorry, there is no course on it.
Right.
So he was the one who started it. It was inspired by having attended a 3-week national celebration of the 50th anniversary of the emancipation in 1915. So 50 years from the emancipation of slavery from 1865. And Woodson joined 4 others in founding the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History. And the association was created to encourage scholars to engage in the intensive study of the Black past, a subject that has long been sorely neglected by academia in the United States up to that point.
Right.
So in 1916, Woodson began editing the association's principal scholarly publication, the Journal of Negro History. 2 years later, in 1924, spurred on by Woodson, is college fraternity. I don't know if this is your fraternity.
Which one is it?
Omega Psi.
Damn.
Is that yours?
No, mine is Kappa Alpha Psi.
Is that the competition?
We're founded the same year, 1911.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Omega Psi introduced Negro History and Literature Week.
Wow.
Yes. So 2 years later, determined to bring greater attention to African American history, Woodson launched Negro History Week in February 1926.
Wow.
It is also February. February is also the birth month of President Abraham Lincoln, who issued the Emancipation Proclamation.
Yes.
And African-American abolitionist, author, and orator Frederick Douglass, who was born on February 14th. So in all combination of all of that, it was determined that February would be the best month to celebrate Black History Month.
Yeah.
Now, in honor of Black History Month, we put together a compilation of guests we've had on our show who deserve to be honored for their contributions to African American culture and to society as a whole. Let's watch.
I am the Black man, intelligent, strong, and proud. From this day forward, I pledge my life to the continued development of myself, my family, my community, and to the total and unconditional liberation of my people. We will succeed.
I'm the Attorney General of the great state of New York, and I'm here today to talk about gun violence. I've been here many a day, and I'm tired of vigils, I'm tired of candles, I'm tired of prayers. It's time that we take action.
As an entrepreneur, you just toil away and hope that one day something will happen, but you never know how close you are to making that difference. So my advice to anyone who's looking to entrepreneurship is to stay focused, stay committed, and just keep pushing.
Now the Gullah Geechee heritage, which came from our ancestors, the Africans who came over, who were rice growers from the west coast of Africa, they were the ones who were responsible for actually the economic development of the United States of America.
While my family is third generation from the village of Harlem, my family also hails from the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. The Caribbean Day Parade historically started here in the village of Harlem, so the interconnectedness between that which people from foreign shores have done and contributed to this community is absolutely outstanding.
One of the reasons we started this event is that most African or Caribbean merchants, if they go to other street festivals, don't get the amount of revenue, don't get the amount of attention. And the way we organize this particular event is to draw a large enough crowd so that merchants actually make a sufficient living and income.
Critically important that everybody be able to celebrate their culture, but even more important, obviously, this is the 50th anniversary of the African American Day Parade. The Orange Man, the White House trying to spread Orange Madness. It makes it even more important. New York Times just put out 1619, the expose of what this country is, how it was founded. And you really see that this country wouldn't be this country without the contributions of African Americans.
That's how the country is built. It's immigrants who built this country. Even my great-great-great-great-grandfather is among them. That is where we follow up.
I'm here to better our lives. It's an opportunity country. That's all, America.
Lo malo was a colloquial term. It was a term frequently used. And what I told her was, this will stop with you and I.
All right, so happy Black History Month.
That was beautiful.
That was very nice.
I love it.
And we'll be celebrating it throughout the entire month here at Brad Show Live. In other news,
all right,
Yonathan,
let's get into it.
An impeachment update. There's going to be more orange madness.
The
orange man
spreading
orange madness around. The Senate has neglected to impeach him, despite, or will shortly neglect to impeach him. It's going to happen momentarily, despite the fact that every senator said what he did was wrong.
Wow.
Even the Republicans said what he did was wrong. And if you see the tweets and the comments from the Republicans, they said, nobody's defending Trump here, but we just think that if we impeach him, there'll be a culture war, so we don't want that to happen.
What?
Exactly. That's basically what what they're saying. They're saying he did everything wrong. It wasn't a perfect call. He actually did exactly what the Democrats claim he did. He abused his power.
Right.
He used his position as president of the United States to try to influence a weaker leader in the Ukraine, to give dirt on Joe Biden, who, by the way, isn't going to be the president anyway, with or without this entire thing, and we'll get to that in a minute. And all the Republicans said, yep, he did it. But you know what? We're not going to have a culture war, so we're going to let the American people decide. And you know what basically they did? You know, we have a separation of powers here in the United States of America. You know, where equal branches of government. That's what I learned when I grew up. That there's an equal branch of government. Each branch of the government has equal amount of power. The Congress has an equal amount of power to the executive branch, and the courts have an equal amount of power too.
Okay.
Congress makes the laws. The president signs the laws into being. The president has to enforce the laws, and if the president abuses his power by enforcing the laws, there is a Supreme Court or a court system, a judicial system that lawyers like I participate in to bring people to justice.
Right.
That is our separation of powers. And what the Senate has done this week and last week is that they abdicated their responsibility and basically gave power to Donald Trump.
Wow.
What they basically said is we're going to cede our power. We're not going to have an equal say in how our government runs. We're going to give the power to the executive branch, to the president, which is basically orange madness, right? What do you say? It was
spreading
orange madness. That's basically it. So
when you say they're going to let the people decide, how would that actually go?
The people decide November. There's going to be an election.
Oh, that way.
That way.
Oh, okay.
That way. And now in lead House Manager Adam Schiff's closing arguments, this is what he said, basically what I just said. Decency matters here. When the president tries to coerce an ally to help him cheat in our elections and covers it up, we must say enough is enough. He has betrayed our national security, and he will do so again, and he's compromised our elections and will do so again. You will not change him, but you cannot constrain him. He is who he is, but truth matters little to him. What is right matters less, and decency matters not at all. And let's watch the video. I didn't realize it was a video.
Decency matters here. And when the president tries to coerce an ally to help him cheat in our elections and then covers it up, we must say enough.
All right, so you know what? It's up to you, American voters. Brad squatters who are U.S. citizens, it's up to you to vote.
Right.
What do you want?
Please.
You want a president who can break the laws? Or you want a president who you say, you know what? You break the laws, you're not going to be the president anymore. That's basically what it is. Comes
That's
down
what
to.
it needs to be.
That's what it comes down to. Meanwhile, the Democrats never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity. Okay, they screw it up time and time again. Their first primary, which was a caucus in Iowa last night, it's supposed to be a big deal, so they could anoint who the front runner is in the Democratic primary, moving forward to New Hampshire, and we could have a big discussion about who won, who lost, move on to New Hampshire, and we are watching the news all night. And of course, all of their software breaks down.
Oh my God.
Of course, their systems of counting the votes breaks down.
Way.
At the end of the night, nobody knows who won, who lost. Jeez. The only thing that we know is President Trump is mocking the Democrats, saying, how could you trust the Democrats to run our country when they can't even run an election in Iowa?
Golly.
So, it's a problem.
Yeah, that's bad.
It's just bad.
Yeah.
It's just bad. Now, apparently, there's a new app that they were using to transmit the results. The app broke down. Then they have to count the ballots by hand. And then there was an issue of making sure that the ballots were counted properly.
Right.
It was an absolute disaster for the Democrats. And, you know, after 1 year of campaigning in Iowa, you want a Democratic frontrunner to stand up and say, I'm the man or I'm the woman who has won.
Yeah.
And I am going to be the leader of this party. And we're all waiting to see who it's going to be.
Dang.
And nobody knew.
Nobody.
So at the end of today, right before we got on the air, they came back with a partial tally. We don't even know if it's a full tally. It's a partial tally.
What the heck is a partial tally?
Partial tally means we counted about half the vote so far. And right now, about halfway through the voting, so ridiculous.
Right.
So ridiculous. You know what? It makes me want to vote for Pierre Trudeau to be president of the United States.
Oh, Lord.
Any event.
Okay.
It used to be the former Prime Minister of France. But any event. Halfway through the voting, they say Pete Buttigieg, I pronounced his name wrong, is squeaking ahead of Bernie Sanders.
Wow.
Elizabeth Warren is in third with a solid third, and Joe Biden, who Donald Trump thought was going to be his adversary, is in a very distant fourth.
Jeez.
So now what it's going to come down to, if this holds, okay, it's going to be a moderate Buttigieg, who is openly homosexual, versus Bernie Sanders, who is an elderly man, somewhere between socialist and communist. The reality is his proposals, and where is that all going to fall out? Where's that all going to fall out? I don't know. And then you have Bloomberg in the background spending hundreds of millions of dollars. He's not in the first.
He's not even in the first four.
He's not in the first four. And his thinking is this: these first four elections, because remember, it's a state-by-state election, hold very little ultimate value in terms of delegates, because you have to amass a certain amount of delegates in order to get the nomination.
So he
just
still
like you
feels
have to
like-
amass a certain amount of votes.
Yeah.
And these first four states are very tiny.
Yeah.
So he says, you know what, I'm going to skip all four, and I'm going to spend all my time and effort getting the big ones. Kind of like that guy in Jeopardy who won. Who was the guy who won, Jilly, in Jeopardy all the time? He was winning for like 70 games in a row, 60 games in a row. Just the guy recently, remember? And what he did was, everybody in Jeopardy used to bet, okay, I'm going to bet 200, Alex, then 400. He just went straight for 1,000.
What? Oh.
So I don't know. Holtz, whatever his name is, Holtzhauer. So he's like
James
Holtzhauer. Yeah. So I mean, he's just going like for the big, Alex, I'm going to go for 1,000 delegates. So
do you feel like this is a smart move?
I don't know if it's a smart move, but it's a smart move in the sense that he got in late. And I think Bloomberg, because he's going to spend $1 billion on this election. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. Whether you're worth $50 billion or not, $1 billion is still $1 billion.
Yeah.
And he's not a fool. He's not going to spend $1 billion unless he thinks he could win.
Yeah.
So he was waiting for the end to see how these candidates are going to connect with the voters. If there was a candidate who was going to be a breakout star, I don't think you would have seen Bloomberg.
Yeah.
But because there's no breakout person, Bloomberg says, you know what? There's a way for me to do this, and I'm going to go for the big delegates, and I'm going to come in the end, and I'm going to spend my $1 billion. Listen, you spend $1 billion, even if you have $50 billion, it's got to hurt your pocketbook.
Yeah.
Okay, $1 billion's $1 billion.
That's a lot.
Okay, so
I do want to say, just real fast.
Yes.
I did Cash Cab, and there was one question where we got to go on social media and ask a question, and all of them started answering.
Right.
I just want to give a shout out to Brad Squad, because they were giving you the answer.
What was the answer?
James.
Oh, they
Jessica
were.
Leamy,
I
Collins.
didn't see it.
I love that.
So thank you very much. Brad Squad knows more than Uncle Brad sometimes, right?
I love that.
Yeah. So I got to look, actually. Next time.
When you ask a question, you should look. They're giving the answers.
That's right. You know what? Next time I said I don't know the answer, I'm going to ask what the squad says.
Yeah. So
right?
Squad, make sure you're ready.
It's almost like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You're like, I'm going to ask the audience, right?
Yeah, it's exactly what it's...
70% of the audience says it's James Holzhauer.
There you go.
Right. So any event, coronavirus update. Brad doesn't have it, thank God, because I seem to feel better right now.
Right,
but
good.
people are dropping dead in China and the Philippines. As a matter of fact, I read that although China has said, I don't know how many people have died in China so far. I don't know if I have the number here, But whatever that number is, I'm told is severely undercounted. Because they can't get people into the areas that are quarantined to actually count dead people on the street. Now the coronavirus, a pneumonia-causing illness, it affects the respiratory tract. It has killed 427 people worldwide and has infected 20,438 worldwide. Jeez. But that is an undercount. Only 2 have died outside of China. But from what I understand is that China has been undercounting simply because they don't have the manpower to actually count the people who are dying on the streets.
It says at least 425 deaths in China.
Yeah. So now Japan Ministry has said they announced 3 more coronavirus cases today, bringing the country's total to 23. International researchers are racing to develop a vaccine. The vaccine for coronavirus is at least 12 to 18 months away. So you can race all you want. We got to get through this. In the meantime, the World Health Organization declared an international public emergency, and obviously the biggest threat is the spread of the disease. You know, for example, Hong Kong, they're up in arms in Hong Kong right now because they don't want to allow anyone in from China.
Right.
And the hotels in Macau, you know, the gambling mecca in China, they're closed.
Jeez.
They've closed those towns. And they believe that if this virus spreads, it's possible that Shanghai could be quarantined. It's possible even Beijing can be quarantined. You know, this is a much more serious health problem than SARS. Remember how scary SARS was? This is going a lot worse than SARS. You know, I'm not sure we're ready yet to start getting, you know, wearing surgical masks all over the world. But certainly, you know,
I mean, it doesn't hurt.
It doesn't, you know, if it keeps spreading like this,
that's a lot.
You may want to get surgical masks. And I even read, they said, you know, they don't even know if a surgical mask would work or not. But you know what? I know it can't hurt you.
Listen,
I know if you put on a surgical mask, it's not going to make it worse. It's not going to hurt.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, you know, if this does become, you know, worldwide, I'll give two suggestions to everybody. One is you wear a surgical mask, and 2, you carry literally soap and water.
Yes.
Not Perel, but literally soap, bottles of water and a bar of soap, and you'll be washing your hands every hour.
Every hour,
Every hour.
I mean, come on, that's
the only way
people.
That's the only way ultimately you would protect yourself. Clean hands and prevent the virus from coming into your nasal passages, mouth, maybe even your ears.
Yeah.
You know, your eyes, they can get into your eyes too.
That is scary.
It's very scary. Well, hopefully China has so far been very slow in trying to contain the virus. Hopefully they're a little more on it now.
It says 493 deaths, 23,875 cases. That's, like, think about that, 500 people.
Yeah.
And that's only what they've told us, but 500, that's a lot of people.
There's a lot more death in China than what we're hearing. What we are hearing. There's a lot more.
Whew.
Okay, it will eventually come out, but there is a lot more. Switching gears a little bit, you know, we talked about before I got sick from my own flu that the U.S. Supreme Court lifted the nationwide injunction that prevented immigration from enforcing the new Donald Trump public charge provisions. So now, as of February 24th, 2020, the new public charge provisions go into effect for anybody who files an adjustment application on February 24th, 2020 and beyond. If you feel you are going to have a public charge problem, you better get your adjustment application in before February 24th. You will fall under the old rules. You got about 2.5 weeks. For those who already have their adjustments filed or have pending adjustment cases, you're okay. It only takes effect for people who file their adjustments after February 24th. So what is these new rules? Well, in the old rules is you just have to show you're 125% above the poverty level. Now you not only have to show that's step 1, because there's a step 2. Step 1 is show you're 125% above the poverty level. Step 2 is show that you're not going to become a government charge. How is that going to happen? Well, if your petitioner is taking government assistance,
Right.
if your petitioner is in public housing, it's going to be big negatives against you. If your petitioner earns less than $62,000 for a family of 4, it's a big negative against you. Positives for you would be you have health insurance, you have a job,
Right.
You are of working age, you have an education. It's going to skew to people with education. It's going to skew against people who don't speak English and don't have an education. It's going to be a big problem for a lot of people. So the only thing I could suggest to people is 2 things. Get your application in before February 24th and get yourself a good lawyer.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Trump is now also has travel restrictions to a lot of, and we have a lot of our friends in the Brad Squad are part of this, unfortunately.
2 of my countries.
2 of your countries. And
my mom and my dad's country is
Nigeria, which we have a lot of people watching from Nigeria. Eritrea.
Yeah.
A lot of people from there too. Myanmar. We don't have as many Myanmar, but maybe we do. Kazakhstan. And that includes also the old countries, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Syria, Yemen, North Korea, and Venezuela. Also, 2 other new countries I neglected, Sudan and Tanzania. So what are these new travel restrictions? Basically, what they're saying is people from these countries can't get green cards.
Wow.
You're married to a U.S. citizen from Nigeria, that Nigerian husband or that Nigerian wife, even if you're a U.S. citizen, cannot get a green card.
Wow.
Can't. And what Trump is saying the reason is because there's a lot of fraud that comes from these countries, and a lot of people from these countries overstay their visas. And the reason why they put the ban for green cards instead of, this is Trump's reasoning, instead of non-immigrant visas, because people from these countries can still get visitors visas, student visas, work visas, investor visas, what they can't, religious worker visas. What they can't do is get green cards. And Trump's rationale is that it's a lot easier to deport somebody who is on a non-immigrant visa who overstays their time than somebody who has a green card. Okay, but there is no overstay on a green card, so I'm not exactly sure why he wants to deport people who have green cards who are not really breaking the law.
Right.
So his logic actually doesn't flow.
I mean, when does it?
So we go back to, that's a good excuse. The real reason is what he really thinks of these countries.
Yeah.
Shitholes.
They're shitholes. Yeah.
Right. And he doesn't want people from shitholes.
Right. Sick. Orange madness, guys.
Yes. Did you like the Super Bowl?
I did.
Yeah. What was your favorite part of the Super Bowl? Football or halftime show?
Halftime show.
Halftime show.
These 2 beauties.
Yes.
Woo.
I loved it.
look at Brad.
I loved it. I loved it. I loved the football game too, but the halftime show.
The halftime show.
I'm gonna tell you something. I had no Shakira downloaded on my phone. I was downloading Shakira after.
Really?
Yes, I downloaded about 5-6 Shakira songs after.
Dang.
And that J-Lo.
That J-Lo is a lot of women.
She's my age, but she looks 20 years younger.
Isn't that insane?
Is that insane, right?
Like, look at her.
Yeah.
She looks great. They both look great.
I'm going to tell you something. When I was 25, I couldn't climb up and down a pole. Okay? And she's 50, and she's climbing up and down the pole.
Up and down that pole,
right.
man. Yeah.
All right.
That was amazing. I wanted to ask the Brad Squad, what you guys think? Was this one of your favorites? Who did you enjoy?
It was really, we were talking about it off the air.
Yeah.
And I told you, it was, to my recollection, one of my favorite halftime shows, if not my most favorite halftime show.
That's a lot.
And Yo-Yo said, well, I like Prince better. I like Michael Jackson better. I like Beyonce better.
Yeah.
I said, I don't remember.
I'm going to need you to look at them.
I got to look at them again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to look at them
Beyonce
again.
and Michael Jackson, those 3. And then the best person to sing the Star Spangled Banner, Whitney Houston.
Yes, that one I remember.
Yes.
That one I remember.
Demi Lovato did really good too, though.
Besides the sexy outfits and the flashy dancing
and the hips
and
that
the hips
didn't lie.
That's right. whatever, right?
Yeah.
Instead of focusing on the sexy outfits, other people focused on the border crisis statement J-Lo and Shakira,
which was beautiful,
made during their performance right before Emma Maribel Muniz, who's Jennifer's, by the way, I didn't realize that's her daughter. No, I didn't realize. I only found out after.
She sounded amazing.
Yeah. She started singing during the Super Bowl 54 halftime show. She crawled out of a cage Now, she
Powerful.
wasn't the only one. Dark patches of the field were illuminated by several neon structures identical to Emmy's, with children caged inside. One by one, their cages lit up until it was time for Emmy to open her door and sing through the empowering verses of her mom's 2000 single, Let's Get Loud. Let's get loud.
Okay.
One by one.
Okay, vocals.
Thank you. One by one, I just started thinking like,
Yeah.
oh yeah. So the kids eventually joined Emmy on stage and surrounded her as a backing choir, all in white sweatshirts with rhinestone American flags emblazoned across the front. The statement had her and the rest of the younger performers singing from behind bars. It did not go unnoticed,
Good.
not only by us at Brad Show Live, but on Twitter as well. Ramos Nuero said when this scene came out, they were singing Let's Get Loud about kids in cages. Of course,
Love
that's
it.
a thing. Let's get loud. Hashtag Pepsi halftime. Luther Swift said, how is no one talking about this powerful yet subtle statement? And biz lawyer ATL Atlanta says, powerful commentary on the border crisis by J-Lo having kids in
I loved
cages.
it. Like, this is those are ways to use your platform for good, you know,
Yes.
to get the word out. You know, a lot of people were like, oh, why would you perform at the Super Bowl when, you know, Colin Kaepernick still doesn't have a job? But this is what you do. You know what I mean? If you're going to use that platform, then get loud, make a statement.
And by the way, do you know how much J-Lo and Shakira earned for their
How much?
performance? They earned minimum wage.
I heard they don't even get paid.
No, they get paid.
They get paid?
You have to get paid, or it would be slavery. You got to pay the person. But it was minimum wage. The NFL does pay for all the expenses of the halftime show, which cost them over $10 million, plus traveling and all of that. But they don't actually get a paycheck. What they get instead is the publicity of hundreds of millions of people watching them, talking about them, and now Shakira has the #1 downloaded song
there you go.
on Apple iTunes, a song that came out 19 years ago,
Yeah.
now rocketed back to #1 on Apple iTunes.
And you've helped
I
with
did.
that.
I downloaded it. I am telling you, I have become a huge Shakira fan.
So no, I am right. So Super Bowl halftime artists are not paid to perform.
But they get paid minimum wage.
Oh.
They're not paid what they would normally, like J-Lo goes and performs for a 20-minute set somewhere at a private event.
Yeah.
She would get $1 million. But she got minimum wage. But they got all that publicity.
Yeah. Listen, she wasn't seeing #1, you know, for that song in a long time, since like 2001. So that's what you get.
All right,
Taking
Yo-Yo, we
amazing.
got to get into some immigration questions here.
All
Why don't you
right.
tell everybody what they need to do one last time? Remind them about our contest for the free consultations while I stretch my quads and get ready to talk to the squad.
Yeah, the quads for the squad.
Yes.
All right, everybody on Facebook, it is time to start your watch parties. You already know what time it is and what you do in order to do it. All you have to do is click on, there's actually watch together with a group or friends. You can actually press that, start, or say share, and a couple options down will say start a watch party. It's very easy. There are other ways to do it, and it shows you right here on your phone or on your computer. So make sure you all start your watch party. I want you guys to confirm, because I know that you guys are listening. When we asked you a question, you guys answered back. So confirm when you start your watch party. If you don't know how to do it, let me know. I'll say it again. Okay, all you have to do is click share. A couple options down that says start a watch party. That simple. Make sure you let everybody know to start one as well. Also, invite friends. It's very easy. You can add them or just say invite. There's like a little add button, and then you literally just press all your friends. So everybody do that right now. And now on YouTube, I need you guys to all subscribe. Of course, that's the first thing. Subscribe and press the little bell for your notifications. But I also want you guys to give us a thumbs up, all right? We gave you a dope schmooze. We had fun, you know, we try and cover a lot just for you guys, all right? So we want to make sure that you guys show us love by pressing the thumbs up. Of course, we want you guys to share it. All you have to do is copy the link and send it in a text message blast with any text message app that you're using, Viper, WhatsApp, text, whatever you want. All right, now on Instagram, we are doing a competition, and Brad has just said that he will give you guys two opportunities to win a consultation with him. So he'll give away 2 free consultations with Brad, and that's worth $400 altogether. It's $200 each.
We're going to pull out of the machine on Wednesday.
We will on Wednesday. So all you have to do is look for this picture on IG. You saw it right there. This picture, there you go. Look for this picture on IG, on Instagram, and make sure you follow the page on Brad Show Live. You like this post, and then tag 5 friends to get your name in the drawing for 1. Tag 10 friends for 2 times. Tag 15 friends, and so on. We'll count. All right. So, but you cannot tag the same person. Look. Okay, we do research. All right, so make sure you guys do that right now, and we will pull from
that
the
is very
drum
true.
on.
Jenny from the Cubicle is very good at research.
She's very good at research.
Very good at research.
And we're gonna pull from the drum on Wednesday, so we can find out the 2 lucky winners. And now, this is what you guys have been waiting for almost a week and a half. This is where you guys call in and get your questions answered with getting answers to your immigration questions.
All right, let's go to Rose. Rose in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. So I understand you're calling about a public charge. You want to adjust your spouse's status in the United States. Tell me what's going on.
Yeah, I would like to know if my daughter is in the Head Start program and I am adjusting my status to my spouse, would that be considered as a public charge?
No, because under the new rules, children under 18 don't get counted towards public charge, getting public assistance.
Okay, I was thinking maybe because it's a family. Okay.
No, you're good.
Okay, thank you. And my second question is, if I get married in 91 days, would that be suspicious? I know there's a 90 day.
89 days is suspicious. 90 days is suspicious. 91, no problem. 91 is like, you ever see the monkey emoji when they go like this, they put their, hands over their eyes? 91, you're a monkey emoji. Hands over your eyes, they don't care. All right?
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you
Goodbye.
so much, Brad.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's go. Where are we going to? Who's next here? I don't know. Frank in Chicago. Frank.
Hey, Brad, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I hope you're feeling much better now.
I am, thank you.
Thank you. My best wishes to you and Yo-Yo. Thank you. Brad, quick question. I just filed for my... Hello?
I'm listening to you, Frank.
Oh, so sorry. I filed for my N400 last month, and, I'm from Asia, and we have, long names. So I filed it under, the 3-year rule, which is I'm married to a U.S. citizen. And, on my wife's name, I'll just give you an example that her name is
question?
Kimberly.
Just tell me your question. I don't need examples. What's your question?
She had used 2 names in the past. One is her actual name, and one is her short name. But I mentioned both names on the N400, and on one of my son's birth certificate.
One second. So you're filing for your citizenship, and when it says what's your wife's name, you mentioned both of her last names. Okay, so what's the problem?
First names, both.
Okay,
of her.
so what's the problem?
So is that going to be an issue? That'll be your marriage certificate says this, but on the birth certificate for one of your child is only Kim instead of Kimberly. So is that going to be a problem?
No, I don't think so. I mean, if you're in a bona fide, you just got to prove it's a bona fide marriage with your spouse.
Yeah.
She goes by multiple names. I don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah, I got joint tax returns and two kids.
I think you're going to be fine.
Yeah, and the one last question I have, some people are talking about going to their biometrics appointment early, just walk in. Does that make any difference in this, in the processing of the application?
If they're going to accept you walking into the biometrics early, and they let you in, because you're getting your fingerprints done faster. Why not?
Oh, okay. So it will make
it would make it go faster.
Move
Absolutely.
Faster. Okay.
If they let you in, sure, why not?
Yeah. Why not? Thank you, Brad. I hope you feel better. Thank you.
I am feeling better. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
All right, let's go to Rich in Woodbridge, Virginia. Rich.
Hey, Brad, how you doing?
How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, just quick question. Yeah, I'm planning to travel on February 9 with advance burial for my father's funeral in Ghana.
I'm sorry about that.
And sorry. And I'm planning to coming back on February 25. But my advance burial is going to expire on March 11.
As long as you're back before the expiration, it's fine. Come back after the expiration, problem.
Okay, so February 25 is fine.
If it expires March 9th and you're back February 25th, all good.
Thank you.
All right.
That's all I want to know. All right, thank you.
Let's go to Samuel in Washington, D.C. Samuel.
Hello?
Hi.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
What's going on?
Yes, sir. I have this question. So I filed my I-400, my citizenship, recently, and I was called for interview. So before my interview, like 4 months before they scheduled me for interview, I have an arrest on my way home from job. So
What
I
was
think
the
they
arrest for?
mistakenly
What was the arrest for?
for sexual solicitation.
You soliciting
So-
a prostitute?
Yeah, I think they mistakenly me for someone. So
They
I got a
mistook you
lawyer.
for... wait a second. They mistook you for somebody who was soliciting a prostitute?
I guess that was
I don't know. I
so-
wasn't there, so I'm asking you.
Yeah, I mean, well, this is not what I did. So I got a lawyer,
Uh-huh.
and the case was dismissed.
Okay. So if the case was dismissed and it was a one-time arrest and you've never been arrested for any other reason, bring the disposition. You should become a citizen without a problem.
So my question was that when I went for the citizenship, they asked me if I was arrested or recently, and I said yes. So I gave them the disposition, which I mistakenly gave them the photocopy instead of the original.
All right, so make sure they get an original when they ask for it. I mean, the answer to your question is, am I going to become a citizen? That's why you're calling me. And I gave you an answer. And my answer is, if you got arrested once for solicitation of a prostitute and your case was ultimately dismissed and you were found innocent and you have no other arrests, that doesn't make you a person of bad moral character, and you should become a citizen. Now, you gave them a photocopy instead of a certified copy. Hopefully they saw the certified copy. Hopefully they'll ask you for it. If not, they're going to deny you because you didn't give them the right documentation. I wasn't there. That I can't help you with.
So they asked me. The officer told me she's gonna send me a letter.
So then wait for the letter.
Yeah. So I already did the interview way back in December, and she told me she's gonna send me a letter
You have 120 days to receive a letter from them. The letter's going to be one of 3. You didn't give us the right document. You denied. Give us a certified copy, and then we'll, review your case again, or you're approved. I don't know. I wasn't there. Okay? But what I can tell you is this. If you didn't screw up and you gave the right document, you should become a citizen. Because you didn't give the right document, there's nothing I can do about it. You got to wait to hear what they say.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay. So my second question
You only
is,
get one question now. I'm one question per person.
All right.
That was 10 minutes to get to that one question.
Yeah.
Okay? If, this is a new rule, new Uncle Brad rule.
Okay.
If you can give me a succinct question, I'll be happy to answer multiple questions.
I'm with that.
If you're going to give me a 5-minute question to get to, will I become a citizen? Which is basically what it is. Okay? Then you only get one question. How's that? Is that fair?
I'm with it.
Right? I'm with it too. Let's go to Darisha in Jersey City. Darisha.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
I'm great.
What's going on?
I have 2 questions I want to ask. I'm going to go pretty fast. First question is, I filed last year, July, and I get denied. When I get back my documents, I get it back in...
Why were you denied for what?
September.
You were denied for what?
My husband's name wasn't on one of the documents, so not.
What are you filing for?
I'm sorry.
What are you filing for? And talk up.
Hello.
What
Can
are
you hear
filing?
me?
Yeah, no, I don't. What are you filing for?
Adjustment of status.
Okay, and you were denied. You were denied because your husband's...
Not denied, sorry.
Then I don't know.
Rejection.
You were rejected, which means they didn't even accept your application. That's even worse than denial. Well, it's actually not worse, just as bad. They didn't accept your application. They sent it back. And
Yes,
so
because
because you made mistakes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you like me to do to help you?
So I'm calling. I refiled my documents in September. Because I got it back in August. I refiled in September.
Right.
In July, I did my biometrics at a time because I didn't know that I should wait. In October, I did my biometrics, and from October the 18th, it said it was showing that they received my biometrics. On December 5th, they sent me a courtesy letter saying that my case would be scheduled for appointment soon, and they were talking about the medical. So,
bring the medical for the interview. Okay. You have is there a question? Is there a question in everything?
Yes, there is.
Okay. What is the question?
So I wanted to know, from October the 18th until now, would it be a possibility I would receive my work permit and social before my interview?
Well, you're supposed what's supposed to happen is what I don't want to say what's supposed to happen. What's always happened in the past is you file, you take a fingerprint, they mail you a work permit, you get your social, hopefully the work permit, you filed an I-131, you get an advance parole too, and then sometime down the line, you get an interview. What's been happening lately, in a lot of cases, but not all cases, is that they schedule the interview for the green card very fast before they even deal with your work permit. If that's the case, you could look at it in one of two ways. Either, what a benefit to me, I get my interview for my green card fast, I'll get a green card, I can work and travel on my green card. Or you could look at it as a negative, saying, I'm not ready for my interview yet. Wow, that happened really fast. So hopefully, you and others who are listening, you got to be ready for that interview to come very fast, prove it's a bona fide marriage, prove you're eligible for a green card. And if that's the case, you should be happy because to me, you're getting your green card faster.
Okay, because it's been said 53 days now since it's been scheduled.
I'm sorry?
It says it's been 53 days now since they said I was scheduled for an appointment soon.
Okay, great. So hopefully it happens soon. If not, you'll get your work permit. It's one or the other.
Okay, one quick question. I have a friend, right? She went on a second interview.
This is about your friend? 1 second. No. Sorry. One question per person. Let's go to, we got to get through too many. Monica in Boston.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
How are you?
Hi. So I'm good. How are you?
Good.
So I have a question that I have to apply for my husband's change of status, but I am taking a Medicaid health insurance. So does it come under public charge, and should I move to a non-Medicaid health insurance before 24th February?
Well, if you file the adjustment before February 24th, it won't be as bad. And if you file after February 24th, it's a big, big problem. So yes, get off of it and file before February 24th, and hopefully you'll be okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Let's go to Vasho in Georgetown, Guyana. Vasho.
Hi, Brad.
How are you?
Good to have you back.
Thank you.
You guys are doing such a great job.
I'm trying I'm telling you the truth, I'm trying my best for everybody. That's what I'm trying. Some people say, oh, Brad, you're being mean to people. Well, I'm trying my best. And, got to get through questions and get to as many people as we can.
True.
Okay.
Well, yeah. My mother is sponsored by her brother. The entire family, which include myself, two other siblings, and my dad, has been documentally qualified since of December last year and are awaiting for an interview.
Great.
My question is that my dad went to the U.S. in 1991, and he was sent back to Guyana within just a couple of hours. So now he went to the embassy in 2015 to apply for a visitor visa. He did not put in the application that he went to the United States, so he was denied the visa. So I'm asking, will that affect him when he goes in for the immigrant visa that the interview we are awaiting on?
Who's sponsoring him again?
The brother, my uncle, that's my mother brother, applied for her.
Okay, so this is the answer. Okay, one, your dad was found inadmissible back in 1991. It's like a deportation. 2 in 1991. He was found inadmissible because most likely a fake document. So he was sent home. That's a fraud. In 2015, he applied for a visitor's visa, neglected to say he was previously found inadmissible and committed a fraud in 1991. Second fraud. So now he's got 2 frauds and an inadmissibility, which is like a deportation. Huge problems your dad's got. Now, luckily for the rest of the family, he's not the main beneficiary, because if he was the main beneficiary, if it was his brother or sister filing for him, the whole family would be SOL. I don't know what you know what SOL means in Guyana?
No.
It means poop out of luck. But another word starts with S. Okay, now, because your mom is the main beneficiary, your mom will get a green card, your dad will be denied, any children under 21, if there are children under 21, would also get a green card. Your mom and those children under 21 would come to America, and then once your mom comes to America, your dad would have to go into the U.S. Embassy as a following to join. I wouldn't even have your dad process right now. I would just have the mom process, because you don't want the dad to actually get denied until the mom comes to the U.S. Why? Because you need his wife to file a waiver for him based on hardship to her. So he needs waivers. He's not getting a waiver through his brother-in-law or sister-in-law. He's getting it through his wife. So to me, if I was the lawyer, the way I would handle it is let the main beneficiary, who's his wife, go in. Let the kids under 21 go in. He stays behind, doesn't even apply yet. Let the family come to America. Then he applies. Then he gets denied for the 2 misrepresentations and the inadmissibility. And then the family's already in the U.S., the wife's in the U.S., and do a hardship waiver through the wife.
Okay, but he's already on the application.
So you don't finish that application.
Everything is done.
I'm telling you, don't finish it. He doesn't go into the embassy. He's not ready to come yet.
Okay, one last one. My mom, right, who was the principal beneficiary, she was married to a U.S. citizen back in 1990, but she didn't get through with the interview because she was denied because she didn't have enough evidence to prove the marriage, like no picture to show a celebration, whatever. So that long-distance relationship ended, and she never followed it back, nor she never went to apply for a visa, and she just moved on with her life. Will that marriage affect her?
Well, if they think there was fraud in that marriage, yes. If there's no fraud and they just weren't able to prove it was a bona fide marriage, then the answer is no. Will it affect her if she says, no, I never applied, and she does something stupid like your dad, then yeah.
No, do that.
So as long as there's no fraud, I mean, she was in a long-distance relationship. She wasn't able to prove it was real. There's no evidence to say it was fraud. It shouldn't be a problem.
Yes. Okay.
Sounds like you guys need, but it sounds like you guys really need lawyers. That's what it sounds like to me.
Okay, well, we're waiting on the appointment. It was documentary qualified since December of last year. So we are waiting for an interview.
It sounds like you need lawyers. Hold on. I'm telling you the truth. Let's go to Hassan. Oh, gosh. Hassan in Brooklyn about a VAWA case.
Hello?
Hassan.
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Good. You're calling about a VAWA case.
Yes, sir.
What's
sir,
going on?
I have a VAWA case. I have a VAWA case pending 18 months. I got 2 prima facie. So now my abuser wife complained against me, and it was a misdemeanor. The police arrest me. So the criminal code on my first court date, they give me the ACD, family ACD. So it's 1 year
probation.
ACD is a 1 year like if I don't get
1 year.
trouble,
1 year. It's not a 1 year probation. It's a 1 year. Nothing. If you don't get into trouble, it's dismissed. It's adjourned in contemplation of dismissal. So what is the question? It's not a probation. Okay, which is what I'm told. It is an adjourned in contemplation of dismissal.
Yeah, it's a protection order. That's it. It's a protection. It is an order of protection. So if you don't re-arrest, it will be dismissed and sealed. So my question is, it will affect my VAWA case?
No. Well, you have to prove good moral character, but as long as the case is ultimately dismissed, it should be okay.
That 1 year is not finished yet.
Hassan, you have to prove good moral character. If you got arrested and the case is dismissed, and it's the only time you've ever been arrested in your life, you should be okay. You want me to give you a personal stamp of guarantee that you will be okay, I have to be your lawyer. Other than that, I have no idea. Okay? But if you're asking me general question, if you get an ACD and it's dismissed, and it's the only arrest you have, you should be okay.
Yeah, this is my fast thing, like fast arrest. Like
Okay.
I've never been in trouble before. Yeah.
Great. All right, hold on 1 second.
So
there's no more so. That's what it is. Hold on. All right. With that being said, in today's Spar Bernstein's Close-Up, attorney David Moreno tells us how you can get work with your attorney to get the best results in your personal injury case and answers common personal injury questions asked by clients. Let's watch.
One way you can help your personal injury attorney get the best results is to A, retain early, and B, maintain constant communication with the attorney. Every time you go to a new doctor, you get a new procedure, it creates more of a record, it creates more documents. A lot of the personal injury practice is dictated and based on being able to advocate for you, and the best way to advocate for you is with the hard evidence, which would be your medical records. Some of the most common questions we get as personal injury attorneys are, how can I get the most money? And to answer that question would require us to go back to what your injuries are. Are you maintaining a consistent treating record? If you're scheduled to go to physical therapy 3 times a week for 6 months and you go 1 time for 6 months, that makes it incredibly difficult for us to do our job. Another thing that you can do to increase the value of your personal injury case is to gather and memorialize evidence. In a car accident, taking photographs at the scene of the crime, taking pictures of your injuries. If you happen to have any gruesome injuries, just memorializing that will really help us. Other questions we get are, how long does it take for our case to settle? It all depends on your treatment. There's no advantage in resolving your case early on if you're still treating. The moment you've reached maximum medical improvement is from that point on when we can be extremely aggressive in regards to trying to resolve your case.
Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. Jan in Austin, Texas.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Brad. My question is, we filed concurrently the I-485, I-140, 765, and the 130 after the perm got approved.
Great.
We sent that through on the 16th of January. It was received by the lockbox in Louisville, Texas on the 17th. It's almost 3 weeks now, and we haven't received any receipt number yet.
How'd you pay for the filing fee? By check?
That was through the attorneys.
Through the attorneys. You got to go back to your attorney and see if their check was cashed. If the check was cashed, then you know the application is there. If the check was not cashed, then after 3 weeks, it's a lost application somewhere, or they're returning it.
Okay.
So that's where you start.
I did send an email to the attorney, so they'll come back to me as well on that. And then just my quick second question is, with the receipts from FedEx that we sent it to the lockbox, our B1, B2 visas is expiring in about 4 or 5 days. Is that proof enough that we did file our 485?
Well, it doesn't matter whether you did or not if they didn't accept it and you fall out of status. But even so, under 245K, you're okay. So assuming that the attorneys did it right and they cash your check, you're fine.
Okay, that's perfect. That's all I want to know. Thanks, Brad.
You're welcome. Best luck.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's go to Trisha in New Orleans. Trisha.
Hi, good night, Brad.
How you doing?
I'm good. Good night. I just want to ask a quick question. If you got your 10-year green card and I'm about to be citizen on my own to a bitter marriage and you're divorced, how soon can you remarry if you found love?
You could get married the next day. You wouldn't be able to file for your spouse for 5 years from the time you got your conditional green card or until you're a citizen.
Oh, if I turn a citizen, I can.
Yes. Or, well, let me ask you a question. When did you get your conditional green card?
The 10-year?
No, the 2-year. When did you originally get the 2-year?
Oh, the 2-year, 2016 January.
All right, so you can get married whenever you want. You can't file for a spouse till January 2021.
Okay. Not when I turn citizen.
Well, you're not going to become a citizen until at least January 2021 because you got to wait 5 years to file for your citizenship because you're divorced.
Yeah. October coming, I'm eligible. On 2021, January would be my 5 years, so they said 3 months before. It'd be this year.
Great. You're not going to be a citizen between October and January. So it's until you become a citizen or January 2021, which is basically January 2021.
Okay. Have a pleasant good night. Thank you, Brad.
You're very welcome. Let's go to Rona in Rockville, Maryland. Rona.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. What's going on?
I just have a question to ask you.
Yeah.
My mother claimed 5 of my sisters in Jamaica, and my sister have kids. One of them turned 21 already, 23 already, and the other one is going to be 21 in August. Will they be able to come?
Who's filed for who?
My mother filed for my sister and her kids, and her kids are supposed to come with her.
All right. When did your mom file for them?
2013. They start getting papers and everything already.
When was the I-130 approved?
Well, that I don't know, but they start getting papers from the embassy already.
Then I don't know the answer to your question. Because in order for me to determine whether or not the children would be included, this is how it's calculated. You take the time in which the I-130 took to get approved. Let's say it took the I-130 2 years to get approved. You get to add that 2 years to the children's birthday, as long as you paid their fee bills within 2 years of, or whatever that time period of the I-130 took to get approved, you pay the fee bills and the priority dates current, all within that time frame, they're included. It's a calculation. The only way I could ever, in 1 million years, ever figure it out is to see a copy of the I-130 approval.
Okay, they start getting papers from the embassy already.
But maybe you don't understand what I'm saying to you. You getting papers from the embassy, I can't tell. You call me with a question. Will these children be included in the case? They got papers from the embassy, and I give you an answer. How long did the I-130 take to get approved? You said, I don't know. And then I said, well, then I don't know because that's the only way I can tell you legally whether they would be included or not. And then you say, okay, great, thank you very much. But they got papers from the embassy. And I said, we're going in circles. So I don't know what the answer is.
I'm just saying they get papers for the kids already, so I thought they would still be able to come.
They may be able to come, they may be not. What the answer I'm giving you is, I don't know because you don't have all the information to provide to me. So what I'm going to suggest to you is to have a consultation. Hold on. All right. Let's go to Shernette. I think this is Shernette.
Yes.
Shernette, how are you?
Yes, good
In
night.
Hartford. What's going on?
Yes.
Okay, I have a question. I met my husband 3 years before we got married. So I want to know if that would be a problem when I go for an interview.
That you met him 3 years before you got married? Sounds like you had a nice long relationship before you got married. Why is that a problem?
Yeah, but I go back to Jamaica and come back and like that.
That's fine. As long as you got married after 90 days of your last entry, it's fine.
I get married 5 months.
That's fine. Mazel tov.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
I listen to you guys every evening.
Thank you very much, Shernette.
And
You know, by the way,
and my mother and everybody tell them to watch you guys.
Thank you. You're the best. By the way, you know what Mazel Tov means?
Pardon me?
Do you know what Mazel Tov means? I said Mazel Tov. She's like, Mazel Tov. I gave her an answer like, yeah, thumbs up, Mazel Tov. I said, do you know what that means?
No.
Yo-Yo, you know what Mazel Tov means? Yo-Yo does enough bar mitzvahs, right?
It's like good luck, welcome.
Congratulations.
It's like congratulations, all of that.
Yeah. Right.
It's like it's very.
It says good luck,
very,
congratulations.
I have a child with him also.
All right. She could care less what Mazel Tov means, but the good news is you're getting a green card. All right, Shernette, be well.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go to Navalette in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Or Lauderhill, Florida, excuse me. Navalette.
Yes,
Hi,
I'm
how
here.
Are you?
I'm okay, and you?
Good. What's going on?
I have a 14-year-old son,
I'm a permanent citizen here. He's from outside of the U.S. He overstayed his visa. I was wondering if it's okay for him to go down for the interview
He can.
and then return here with me.
Yeah, as long as he leaves before 18, he's fine.
Sorry?
As long as he leaves before he's 18, he's okay.
Okay.
All right, because you can't be held accountable for violating your visa status as a minor because it's not your choice of where you're living.
Okay.
All right, so you'll be fine. I promise you. Hold on. I'm not sure if she's getting everything or not there. She goes, okay, and then we hear about 5 minutes of television in the background.
Right.
I don't know what I was listening to, the Jeffersons or something. I don't know why I thought it was the Jeffersons or Archie Bunker. Sounds like Brady Bunch back in the back. I don't know what we were listening to back there. Andrew in Hampton, Connecticut. Andrew.
Hi, good
How are
night,
you?
Brad.
Good night.
I'm good. Yeah, my question is, my wife filed to remove my condition, and we got divorced, and depending condition, they send an interview from the 5th of August last year.
Right.
So I missed that interview date. I didn't know about it until I go online. I see that
Your wife.
schedule an interview.
This is for an adjustment of status for you, correct?
No, to remove
the conditions. So you
Yeah.
missed it,
Yes.
and you got divorced from your wife.
Yeah, she divorced me
And
behind my back.
did immigration know you're divorced?
No.
Okay, so this is the problem, Andrew. After you miss that appointment, you get an automatic denial and they put you in removal. It's very possible you got put in deportation. You also missed your deportation hearing and there's a warrant out for your arrest. It's possible. So, you can't be lackadaisical here. I think you need to have a consultation. We got to figure out if you had a deportation hearing you didn't show up to either. If there's a deportation hearing that you didn't show up to, we got to reopen your case. There's a warrant out for your arrest. If there's no deportation hearing and you missed your appointment, the best thing you can do is, as quickly as humanly possible, refile a new application based on a bona fide marriage and a divorce. It's going to be one of those two. But we got to figure out first whether or not you were ordered deported. Because if you're ordered deported, you refile a new application, they're going to come in a black van and arrest you.
So first I have to find out if in removal.
Correct. You know how to do that?
Wow. No.
Okay, that's why you come to me. Hold on 1 second. I can do it for you in 45 seconds. Hold on. Let's go to Shah in San Diego, California. Shah.
Hi, Brad.
How you doing?
Hi, very good, thank you. I watch your program. I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Please explain it to me. I came here 5 years ago as a legal resident, and on day one I received my green card is effective on day one when I came here. I didn't have an ID, so I had to apply for California ID. When I went there, they offered me the form, voter form. I asked them that I just came in here. They said that you're a legal resident. I told them, yes, I am. But I had to sign that. I didn't check mark that I'm a citizen, but after a couple of years, I found out that it was illegal, and I retracted. But I'm about to apply for my citizenship. What are my consequences with the latest immigration law changes?
If you voted in an election and claimed to be a U.S. citizen when you were not, you got a problem. Did you vote?
But I did it. Yes, I did it unintentionally. I thought I'm doing a civic duty.
Right.
Nobody's going to poke their eye with two fingers.
Right.
If I knew this is wrong, I wouldn't going to do it. There was no financial gain for me.
But I understand that. I'm just telling you what the problem is. And it's a bigger problem when you listen to dumb bureaucrats and have you do things that you shouldn't be doing. I think you're going to need the help of a lawyer, and we got to look into this and show that you didn't knowingly do anything wrong. That's the key thing. So hold on 1 second, all right? All right. By the way, if you didn't get your immigration questions answered, you could always follow me on Instagram. Why do you want to follow me on Instagram? Well, maybe you love Uncle Brad. Or more importantly, you'd just like to leave a DM for me, and I'll be happy to try to answer your immigration questions as best as I can. Instagram is my social media of choice lately. So that's why I say Instagram.
There you go.
I'm on there more than anywhere else. So you can follow me on Instagram, drop me a DM if I can help you. It'd be my pleasure to help you. If I can't help you, I'll say I can't help you. And if I think I need to know more information, it's just way too complicated to give you a simple yes, no, or a one-sentence answer, I'm going to tell you to have a consultation with me. You can speak to anyone in the Brad Squad. I would say about 6 or 7 out of 10 times I just answer the question. 1 out of 10, I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And 2 to 3 times, I will say, out of 10, I'll say, you need a consultation. You got a big problem. So you can always do that. You can also follow us at Brad Show Live. If you follow us at Brad Show Live on Instagram, you can always enter our free immigration consultation to come meet with me in person. It's a $200 value, absolutely for free. All you have to do is follow at Brad Show Live, tag 5 people in the post that you see right in front of you right there on our Instagram page, and like that as well. We're going to pick your name, hopefully, out of the bin, out of the machine, out of the drum. Lots of different adjectives for that.
Twirly thing.
The twirly thing. That gold thing.
Yeah, the gold twirly
The
thing.
gold twirly thing on Wednesday. And Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias.
And you guys could all follow me on Instagram at Yonathan Elias TV.
So it is Groundhog Day on Sunday.
It was.
Was.
February 2nd.
February 2nd. And you know Groundhog Sam. That's his day.
I do.
Okay.
That's his favorite day.
That's like the Super Bowl for Groundhog Sam. Okay. You know, there was a Super Bowl on February 2nd, but Groundhog Sam's Super Bowl was also February 2nd. It was Groundhog Day. So he grabbed our new cameraman, Lee, and he went out on the streets to do his own Groundhog quiz.
Wow.
Let's see how it worked out for Groundhog Sam.
Hey, Brad Squad! Groundhog Sam here! As you probably know, the momentous occasion of Groundhog Day occurred on Sunday, February 2nd. And so, in order to honor this special occasion, I decided to go out on the street and test unsuspecting passerbys' knowledge of us magnificent creatures, the groundhogs. So, let's see what people know. Come with me. Let's check it out. Hi, everybody. Groundhog Sam here. I have met these 2 lovely ladies, Nicole and Gianna, and they have agreed to play Groundhog Trivia with me. Okay, Nicole and Gianna, let's see what you know about groundhogs. Okay, first question. What is the official date for Groundhog Day? Is it A, February 2nd, B, March 17th, or C, December 24th?
We're going to say A.
A, February 2nd. Excellent. You got the first one right. Oh, these are smart cookies. I know that. Question number 2. Another name for groundhog is a hogwart, a bunkie, or a woodchuck.
Gianna says C.
Do you agree, Nicole? Do you concur?
I'm gonna say, yeah. Let's go with that, yeah.
Oh my God, good thing you did, because Gianna is right. Yeah! We are also called woodchucks. According to the Groundhog Day lore, if we marmots wake up and we see our shadow on February 2nd, we have 6 more weeks of winter. True or false? It can be tough. This is the crux of Groundhog Day. Don't screw it up. Haha, don't pressure.
We're gonna say false. We're gonna say
Try
true.
that.
True.
Very good. It is true. If us groundhogs wake up and see our shadow on Sunday, on February 2nd, it means that we have 6 more weeks of winter. So I'm personally hoping I see no shadow on February 2nd.
Me too.
Me too, yeah, everybody. Okay, us groundhogs have teeth that are they're very large in sizes, and they grow and they grow. Therefore, what do we have to do on a regular basis? Do we have to go to the dentist? Do we have to wear down our teeth by chewing and eating a lot? Or do we have to wear dentures?
We're gonna say B.
B is correct! We eat a lot! Oh, you ladies are really, really smart. You know your groundhog trivia. I'm so happy to hear this. No. Okay, here we go. Groundhogs like to eat what? Fruits, vegetables, grass, and clover? A. B. Pizza, wood chips without pepperoni? C. Pretzels.
We're gonna say A.
Well, it's kind of a trick question. A is actually correct for most of my ilk. but I happen to be a lover of the pretzel. But in general, you're right, it's A. I'm very different. Okay, this is a tough one. All right, ladies, if a groundhog and a rabbit were in a race, who would win?
So we're gonna say rabbit.
It would be a groundhog! Hi, Yonathan. I'm doing a groundhog trivia game right here with these lovely ladies.
Yeah, are you actually giving them right answers, though?
Well, I mean, you know.
No, listen. Rabbits run 25 to 45 miles per hour, and groundhogs run 8 miles per hour. How would you run faster?
Oh, well, Yonathan, you're blowing up my whole thing. Get it, go away.
Listen, don't let him steal you guys.
Okay, fine, that's fine. Maybe it would be a rabbit. And here's another one. If another Terminator movie comes out, who should be cast as the cyborg assassin? Arnold Schwarzenegger or Groundhog Sam?
We're gonna say B.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you. I'm gonna have my agent call you. Groundhogs happen to be very talented. Besides being able to predict the weather, we can also A, we're terrific trumpet players. B, we're excellent swimmers. C, we're known for our impeccable fashion sense.
Swimmers.
That is correct! Groundhogs are excellent swimmers! Not everybody knows that. Oh, you ladies really know your groundhog trivia! Okay, when German immigrants first settled in America in the 18th and the 19th centuries, they established Groundhog Day in which state? A, New York, B, Pennsylvania, C, Georgia.
Is it New York?
Well, they do celebrate Groundhog Day in New York, but originally it was in Puxatawney, Pennsylvania.
That was my
Yeah, Groundhog Phil. He's the one everyone knows. But Groundhog Chuck is in Staten Island. He's a very close second. Finally, what is your prediction for this year's Groundhog Day? Will we or will we not see our shadow?
We will not see the shadow.
Wishful thinking. I hope so too. We'll find out on Sunday. That's spring is in the air. Ladies, thank you for playing. You were excellent. I hope you learned a little bit more about groundhogs than you knew, even though you really knew quite a bit. Excellent, excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. High five. Wow, that was pretty super special. Nicole and Gianna really knew their groundhog trivia. I'm happy to know that people know about my ilk. Anyway, back to the studio.
All right, the groundhog is back.
He is
and
back.
Better than ever.
Yeah.
You even got into that groundhog skit.
He was giving some wrong answers.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, well, I'm watching. All of a sudden I go, Yonathan, how'd you get into Groundhog Sam?
One of the questions was like, if there was a race between a rabbit and a groundhog, who would win? And they said the rabbit, and he said wrong. He said groundhog would.
I don't even know what kind of ridiculous groundhog trivia he was asking. Who would be a better Terminator, Groundhog Sam or Arnold Schwarzenegger? And the answer was Groundhog Sam? That was some ridiculous groundhog trivia.
He's out for revenge for keeping him in that little wherever you guys kept him.
I see that. All right, let's do something we like to call social media check-in.
All right, our first 5, like I always say, are coming from the Brad Show Live Facebook group, so you guys make sure you join that just so you guys can get the first 5 questions that I'm going to ask. Now, our first one is from A. Jones saying, my U.S. husband is filing for my children who are still abroad. They're 14 years old. Do we submit the I-130 forms, marriage certificate, and his birth certificate? Are there any additional forms we need to submit for their green cards?
Well, you need to prove the relationship between you and your spouse, plus prove that they're your children. So it would be the marriage certificate, any divorce decrees, proof your spouse is a citizen, plus your child's birth certificate.
Okay, Ari Sue saying, does divorce affect my citizenship based on 5-year rule? I divorced my spouse who petitioned for me to come to the U.S. While I'm asking, would that divorce affect my citizenship based on a 5-year rule?
Not based on the 5-year rule, but based on the 3-year rule, yes. But on 5 years, you can file for your citizenship.
All right, Claudia is saying, I received a letter today that my case has been transferred to another USCIS office. What does this mean? I'm category F2A and my husband is a green card holder.
It just means they were transferring workloads from one office to the other. Don't worry about it.
All right, Maya Lee saying, if the G56 call and notice asks that you, the petitioner, to come without the spouse, can I go without him? He's not on the call and notice to go. Also, can the G56 considered as a Stokes in the New York office? Because I was told that the New York office sometimes doesn't say Stoke.
if you have a marriage interview as an adjustment, your spouse better show up, whether his name is on there or not.
All right. They have a really long questions, other stuff too. I'm going to just go a little bit. Do I go by myself or with an attorney? We already know this.
Duh.
Go with an attorney.
To go with an attorney.
I believe, so I was told to go to a name of the IO on the letter. I believe it's the same interviewer from the original
Immigration
interview.
officer.
Okay, the I-485. So what doesn't make sense to me, they said that the interview was to address a name change while interview was going on, and that's false. I'm actually a client, and one of the lawyers, I didn't give the proper info. So I had a hyphenated name. Then when I got married.
This person's a client of ours?
Just as a client, doesn't say.
I don't know a client of who.
Okay.
I don't know what the deal is with the name change. If you're my client, come see me.
Okay. All right. Carla Jane saying, how do I find out what date Nebraska Service Center working on the I-130?
You go to uscis.gov, G-O-V.
Christopher wants to know, I'm told to file for tax adjustments with the IRS since I've been filing my income tax separately with my wife to enable me file for citizenship on a 3-year basis, still legally married.
It's not tax adjustments, tax amendment. You have to show that you're in a bona fide marriage with your spouse. So how do you prove a bona fide marriage with your spouse? You live together and you have a financial relationship. If you're filing taxes other than jointly, it's not a financial relationship that you have. You're not responsible for her debts to the government. She's not responsible for yours. You're basically saying we're not responsible for anybody's debts. I'm not responsible for mine. You're not responsible for yours. Therefore, we have no financial relationship. You got to amend the taxes.
All right.
End of story.
All right. Donald Houghton saying, I have a question. I filed for my daughter and my son. My daughter and my son is here in the U.S. with me. My son got his citizenship through me, but my daughter is 23 years old. She has her green card now almost 2 years ago. When can she file for citizenship?
In 3 more years.
All
5
right.
year.
Christopher saying, what happens to an I-130 if the I-485 is denied when filing concurrently?
What happens to the what? If the what?
To the I-130 if the I-485 is denied when filing concurrently.
Well, they can deny an I-485 because the I-485 is whether you're eligible to adjust your status or not, and they could approve an I-130. The I-130 is, are you in a bona fide marriage? So it's very possible you get an I-130 approved and an adjustment denied. And just by the way, David Gabriel says, I don't have Instagram. Well, it's very simple how to get it. Go to the App Store on your phone and download it.
Very easy.
Okay.
Also, would you suggest refiling the I-485 or disputing the case?
I don't know why it was denied, so we got to figure it out.
Mintu saying, my friend filed for an I-360, but with the first work permit, he got a prima facie. However, when he applied for the second one, he didn't get the prima facie. So is it normal or something to worry about?
Well, I think if he got the prima facie the first time around, he's okay.
Daphne saying, I'm a green card holder and want to petition for my husband. He overstayed his visa. We went to a lawyer who said he can apply for a waiver here in the U.S. Can he do the process in the U.S.?
He's a green card holder? Or
no, Daphne is a green card holder and wants to petition for the husband.
You don't do the process in the U.S. You do a provisional waiver in the United States, and then he goes home and comes back.
Ibrahim saying, 1, what are the fees for an ITIN number?
0.
2, does someone need to send in a copy of his passport or the passport itself?
No, you got to apply for a 1040. You got to file a 1040 return and attach a W-7 to it.
And would an expired passport be accepted to file for an ITIN
You don't
number?
need to show your passport. Just a W-7 form and a 1040 return.
Kenny B saying, can a person who's receiving SSI benefits adjust his status through marriage? And if yes, what are the forms to be filled?
If the beneficiary is getting SSI?
A person who is receiving SSI adjust his wife.
It depends what the SSI for. Is it disability and age? It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
If it's if it's some other government benefit, we want to make sure what government benefit. But Social Security is generally age disability, which is not need-based.
Okay, Ken Kivett saying, is after fingerprints are taken for renewal of work permit under VAWA as an abused spouse, how long does it take? Let's say August 30th, 2019 is when the fingerprints were taken.
VAWAs are taking almost 2 years now.
Okay, Evans saying, my husband petitioned for me and my daughter. I'm working and sending in my adjustment of status. Please explain how he should do the affidavit of support for both of us.
One I-864 for you, a separate adjustment and I-864 for your daughter.
Okay, F.A. Lana saying, does working while overstayed affect your application for change of status when you're married to a U.S. citizen and petition for you, does it affect the green
card? The fact
card?
that you worked out a status and married to a U.S. citizen and file an adjustment does not bar you from getting a green card. The only thing that would bar you from getting a green card is if you worked within your first 90 days coming to America, or you worked and then lied on the application, said you didn't work and it was discovered that you did. Now you're lying.
Okay, Mama Tarla saying, how do we expedite a spousal visa? And I've seen a lot of people doing the expedite, but I don't know if they're on a K1 or a spousal.
There's no expedite. Maybe you can try a K3.
Natasha is saying, my husband's income for last year is not enough to cover the affidavit of support. However, he got a job since January and making enough to cover both of us. Will a job letter approving that sufficient or be sufficient for an affidavit of support?
Get a second affidavit of support and get it filed before February 24th.
Okay, we asked that. Aisha is saying, I have to apply for my husband's change of status. I have a Medicaid, Mass Health insurance. Does it come under public charge, and should I move to a non-Medicaid?
It does come under public charge, but it should not affect the case if it was filed before February 24th. But yes, if or possible, get off it.
Ken Kibet, is it...
you did Ken Kibet.
I did. But is it advisable to file an adjustment by yourself under VAWA? I used a lawyer for everything else, but haven't filed the adjustment. Like Brad says, VAWA with no adjustment means no work permit.
Correct. And quite frankly, I think you're asking a very valid question. Should you hire a lawyer? The answer is, you're asking a lawyer if you should hire a lawyer, and the answer is yes, because a lawyer presumably knows a lot more than you do. And this is your life. This is, you either get it right and get a green card, or you get it wrong and you're in deportation. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. You can't afford a lawyer, that's a different story. But if you can afford a lawyer, hire a good one. That's my answer.
All right. Does travel ban to Nigeria affect advanced parole holders? Is it safe to use advanced parole to travel to Nigeria despite the travel ban? This is from Joe.
Yes, you can use advanced parole.
Layla is saying, is proclamation health insurance in effect or still blocked? Do they ask for it at the NVC? My son is 19. I submitted all documents to NVC. And how can I get him insurance if he's still out of the country?
Well, you can show either that you have medical insurance and that he'll be included on your medical insurance when he comes. You can you can give it a letter saying, I'm going to buy him medical insurance, and this is the insurance I'm going to buy him, and I can afford it, and here's my proof. And the answer to you is the proclamation is still on hold. It's an injunction by the court.
Latoya McKenzie saying, can I have a green card and file for my husband in Jamaica, and how long will it take?
You have a green card. You can file for your husband in Jamaica. It'll take 2 years.
Maurice Parker said, I did my I-485 interview in December 3rd, did not get an answer from the officer up until now. It says the interview was scheduled. So what does this mean?
You got an interview on December 3rd. You haven't had an answer. It means they're still deciding on your case. Give them at least 120 days.
Okay.
Then call me.
Kofi saying, if someone applied for a U.S. visa in Africa 2003 with the name David Pullen and he did not get the visa, in 2012 he swore affidavits and changed his name to Hassan and applied for a U.S. visa again in 2012 and he was given a visa. Now, will he have a problem adjusting his status here in the U.S. with the name Hassan?
It sounds like he committed a misrepresentation. He would need to speak to a lawyer.
All right, Heather saying, I'm here, overstayed my time, need to know how long will I have to wait before I can become a citizen?
Gotta get a green card first.
Chinalu Chin saying, my husband's income for last... we already said that. It's a different name, though. Bahira.
Maybe that was Hassan and...
right. Coming out with different names.
Can you imagine if Hassan comes back with the other name?
Yeah, right. Like, what? You got to us, though. Yeah. Bahira saying, Brad, in my previous marriage, my husband got me Affinity Health Plan. Our marriage never worked out. The petition was withdrawn. Should I not be using this?
No, I mean, you have it. Use it.
Okay, Layla Smith saying, I'm low income. I applied for my son under 21. His case at NVC, submit all documents. My son-in-law will be my household sponsor. Does my low income become a public charge? I've never had any government assistance.
Well, hopefully your son-in-law makes a good living and he'll be fine.
Noreen saying, I've applied for an innocent spouse
exemption.
Okay.
That's basically that you filed a joint tax return and your husband totally railroaded you. You had no idea what was going on, and now you owe jointly a huge tax liability.
There you go. It got denied. I have a tax back from my husband, but IRS put a CNC stats to my transcript. I'm good on my tax, and I have an N400 pending. What should I do for the payments?
I don't know what CNC means. I'm not a tax expert.
Okay, but like if they owed money,
if you
N400,
owe money to the IRS, you should come and speak to Carmela about it, and let's get it cleaned up.
Do that.
Right? And get it cleaned up before your interview.
I live and die by Carmela. She be hooking it up.
That's right.
She be hooking you up. Anything with tax. LBE Gis saying, one question: Have you ever not filed federal?
Have I ever not filed a federal tax return?
Oh, okay.
Who's he asking?
Okay, so let me just ask how they said it. On the question, have you ever not filed a federal, state, or local tax since you become a permanent resident? I answered yes. For the explanation, I put my income was below the threshold required to file. Is this going to be an issue?
Your income had to be like a couple $100. If your income's, I forgot what the total amount was. Carmela told me. I think it was like $600 or $800. But if you earned over $1,000, you got to file a tax return. I don't know where you get this information that you don't.
Okay, Lovable Jackie saying, I'm living in the Bahamas.
And by the way, you may not owe a tax.
Right.
But that doesn't mean you're
not
supposed to file.
Yeah, you're still supposed to file.
There's a difference between I didn't make enough to pay a tax versus I don't have to file a tax return.
Yeah.
Those are two different concepts.
File it, y'all.
Yeah.
Lovable Jackie saying, I'm living in the Bahamas. My daughter is filing for me. We have completed everything, and it was accepted. I haven't heard anything since October 2019. I didn't do a physical or an appointment to go to the embassy. What should I do next?
Where are we at?
Living in the Bahamas, and the daughter is filing for her.
I know, but where are they at in the process?
It was accepted, but they haven't heard anything since October 2019.
Accepted means you're nowhere near the embassy. You got to get the I-130 approved first. It was just filed a couple months ago. Hang in there.
Unity Plays saying, entered the country legally in 1996, have 2 DUIs in 97 and 99, both closed and have clean record ever since. Will this affect my AOS application, and how do I prove good moral character?
I don't know what closed means. Were you found guilty or not guilty? That's number one. Number two, 2 DUIs is bad moral character.
Even 97 and 99.
Yeah, well, it is, but hopefully it happened so long ago that you can show good moral character over the last 20 years.
All right, and that's it for now.
All right, well, as we said, since it's Groundhog Day on Sunday, February 2nd, and the lore of Groundhog says that on this day, when groundhogs wake up from hibernation, if they see their shadows, we have 6 more weeks of winter. Now, Groundhog Day has its own immigration story. German immigrants settled in Pennsylvania in the 18th and 19th centuries and brought the custom of Groundhog Day with them. Puxatawny Phil, the most famous groundhog of them all. Number 2, catching up very quickly, is Groundhog Sam.
Yeah.
Now, but people celebrate all over the country, not only in Pennsylvania, but in today's Throwback Tuesday, I had gone to Staten Island Zoo last Groundhog, if you remember. And it was freezing cold, and we celebrated Groundhog's Day with Groundhog Chuck, the attendees, the local politicians, and of course, Groundhog Sam. Let's watch.
Yeah.
Hello, Brad Squad. It's 6:30 in the morning. It's Groundhog's Day. I'm at the Staten Island Zoo right now. It's 16 degrees outside. Feels like it's almost 0. And I'm waiting here at the entrance for Groundhog's Day celebration. And for Groundhog Sam is supposed to meet me.
I'm here. I'm here.
So when did you get here?
I just got here a little bit ago. I got so excited about today that I didn't go to bed at all last night. And then I slept through my alarm. But I'm here now.
Didn't I tell you to take an Uber here?
Brad, I'm a groundhog, and it's Groundhog Day. I had to burrow.
Sam, are you excited for this?
Brad, I cannot tell you how excited I am. I've been waiting all year for this day. This is the Super Bowl of groundhogs. We're going to find out whether we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter or not.
If you had to take a guess, what do you think?
I think spring's going to come. I think Groundhog Chuck's going to give us good news.
All right, Brad Squad. Sam and I are going into Groundhog's Day.
Yahoo!
Let's check it out.
Let's hear it for Groundhog Chuck.
Chuck is a little bit of a diva, so we'll see how it goes this morning. We know that he bit the former mayor. but he's a star, and I am honestly just as happy to share the stage with him. And of course, I will address him by his proper name, Mr. Charles B. Hogg. It has been a tough, very cold week in the city, so let's hope that Chuck's shadow sleeps this morning so that we are on the road to an early spring. Thank you all very much for being here, and I look forward to working with Chuck this morning.
Staten Island, Chuck is the best groundhog congressman in the nation, and will be good to us today.
And I'm going to need everybody's help today to wake Chuck up. And now, students and all our guests, make some noise. Let's do the countdown with the screens. 10.
It's a nail biter, folks. It's a nail biter. I'm so excited.
We're gonna have an early spring, no shadow from Chuck this morning. Everyone celebrate.
I'm here with Fred and Jessica. We're all warming up inside. How often have you been coming here to Groundhog's Day in Staten Island?
We came twice, or this is the third time. And you come and see Chuck say it's going to be spring. You should open the pool.
Chuck was
the reason. Chuck was the reason. Chuck comes and Chuck is the reason.
So do you know what day now you have to call the pool guy to open the pool?
April 1st. April Fool's Day, we open the pool.
So I'm with Ed Burke, the Deputy President of the Borough of Staten Island. Ed, I'm still keeping my hat on. I'm thawing out. Much colder than we thought it was going to be, huh?
It was much colder than I thought it was going to be, even for Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
But you know what? The adrenaline really pumps in me. I'm so excited about Groundhog Day, not just for the fun of this ritual, but I know the kids love it. The kids feel Chuck is a celebrity, and we call him an animal ambassador because once we get the interest of the children, then we can talk about more serious issues, you know, like climate and endangered species. So Chuck is a great entry point for all those important animal issues we want to talk about.
How many Groundhog Days have you been attending?
It's like over 30 years I've been involved with them, but it's been for the past 8 years that I've been master of ceremonies.
Do you remember any Groundhog Days that pop in your head that were more exciting or more special, or are they all special in their own way?
They were all special in their own way, but let's face it, when the groundhog bit Mayor Bloomberg, it was the bite heard around the world. I couldn't believe how many people focused on that. And then Mayor de Blasio also, the groundhog, leapt out of his arms. So, those two kind of big media events led to this now new tradition where it's all hands-free. The groundhog is in his habitat, and that's the way we do it now. And it's kind of a multicultural kind of event. It's become everybody's. It's embraced really as an Americana kind of event.
And are you aware of your immigration background?
My mother's side immigrated from Italy at the turn of the century. We had his name in Ellis Island when they did that wonderful promotion about highlighting the immigrant experience. And on my father's side, the immigration was from Sweden and Norway.
If you've achieved your American dream here.
I have achieved my American dream. I have a great family. We have a great life where we're able to do things together. I work with animals, and it seems like from childhood, that was my dream, to work with animals. And I think in the United States, we all have to live on this world together.
I'm here with Corey Johnson, who may very well be the next mayor of the city of New York. So what inspired you to come out here on this very, very cold morning, Corey?
This is a New York City tradition. We are so proud of the Staten Island Zoo and Staten Island Chuck, and I want spring to come. So I need to be here this morning for the news.
Is this your first time here?
My first time.
So what do you think about Chuck's prediction? You think we're going to get an early spring?
Well, the good thing about meteorologists is that no one can really do anything if they're wrong. So I hope he's right. I'm praying that he's right. I'm not a fan of winter.
Are you aware of the history of Groundhog's Day? It started by immigrants.
It started by immigrants in western Pennsylvania, I believe.
That's correct. It was started by Germans who came here and brought the tradition over from Germany.
Gobbler's Notch.
Do you know your immigration story?
My mother is 100% Irish, and my father, my biological father, was born in Seoul, South Korea, to a Korean woman and an American soldier stationed there for the war. He was put in an orphanage as a baby, and he was adopted by an American couple, so I'm Irish-Korean. I'm 25% Korean and 50% Irish.
Do you say to immigrants, whether they're legal or not in status, who are scared to get government services, scared to call the police, getting scared by what they're hearing from the rhetoric from Donald Trump?
In New York City, we want to protect all immigrants, and the federal government has created an atmosphere of fear
related to immigrants being able to live their lives in the way that all people should be able to live their lives. So here in the city and on the city council, we get tens of millions of dollars every year to protect immigrants, to make sure they get legal services, to make sure that they can access all levers of government, and to make sure that they get a municipal ID card and anything else that's necessary. I am so glad the state legislature just passed the DREAM Act for undocumented young people so they can get a higher education, and I support licenses for undocumented immigrants here in New York State.
Tell me about achieving your American dream, if you have done so already, or what your American dreams are.
For me, I live my life in an open way. I am openly gay. I am openly HIV positive. I'm the only openly HIV positive elected official in the state of New York. I've been clean and sober from drugs and alcohol for 9.5 years. And so for me, it's really about living your truth. It's really about not being as sick as your secrets. And I think it's about taking life a day at a time, knowing there are going to be good times and bad times. That's what, for me, my dream has always been about, and I've been very fortunate and blessed.
I'm here with Charles Fall, Assemblyman. He represents the North Shore of Staten Island. Charles, thank you for joining.
Happy to be here.
So what brings you out on this cold day to Staten Island to Groundhog Day?
Well, I wanted to get the inside scoop from Chuck to see if spring would come sooner, and I think we got some good news today.
And do you think he's going to be accurate?
Well, most of the time he's accurate.
78% of the time, I'm told.
78%.
Right. Do you know your family's immigration story?
Oh, yes, I do. And my parents came here from West Africa in the late 80s, with the hope of living the American dream. With their hard work and perseverance, I'm able to be where I am today because of that. And Maimuna recognizes that story, and so we don't ever take anything for granted. Continue to work hard and make our parents proud.
You're first generation born in the United States.
Correct.
What your American dreams are and whether or not you've achieved them.
Basketball was always my thing in college and high school, and fortunately got injured, but always did well in school, but I always worked hard. And now won a historic race on Staten Island. It's very inspiring to, especially like a lot of minorities in our community, they've always felt that they never had a place in government, and always encouraging folks to just get engaged and involved, right? But the whole idea is that folks know that there is a possibility as long as you do work hard.
I'm here with Patrick Raftery. He does all the music here at Groundhog Chuck Celebration at the Staten Island Zoo. Patrick, thanks for coming on our show.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure.
So how many years have you been doing the music here at Groundhog Day?
I think it's been 8 or 9. I'm not exactly sure. It's been too cold for my memory to work, but it's been a while.
Is this the coldest Groundhog's Day you've participated in?
It is one of the coldest. I think there was one where we actually had ice and snow coming down, and that was probably the coldest.
You do this for a living. You write and perform children's music. Yep. Tell me all the different places you performed and where we can find some of your music.
I'm at musicwithpatrick.com. And I play at New York Public Libraries all throughout. I play at Staten Island Zoo, Children's Museum, camps, schools, everything you could possibly imagine. Even the Tibetan Museum here on Staten Island, we've played there as well, which was really interesting.
What does it mean to you to come out here for Groundhog's Day?
It's more special because I'm a native Staten Islander, and I remember coming to the zoo as a child, so to come here and be part of the community, it's just a fun, happy celebration.
You're aware of your immigration story?
My father is the child of Irish immigrants who came from Roscommon and Mayo counties, and my mom's father was French-Canadian, came from Montreal, and her grandmother came from Italy, so that's my mix.
What American dreams mean to you, and if you've achieved them?
By playing at Groundhog Day, that is certainly something wonderful, but I would say absolutely, and I never take for granted where I live and when I live, but the fact that my grandparents, great-grandparents came here, and what they did, they didn't know it at the time, but it affected me and my children, and I would think that alone is something to be grateful for, so yeah, I think so. I think I've achieved that dream.
We have a big situation here. Groundhog Sam just met a twin.
Hello.
Wait a second. And I love you. I love you. I love you. So before you say I love you, and start, okay. I know. Okay. Say hi, nice to meet you. My name is Sam. What is your name?
My name is Sam. What's your name?
My name is Groundhog Gus.
Groundhog Gus?
Indeed.
All right. It's so nice to meet you. I can't believe one of my ilk is here besides Groundhog Chuck. It's a Groundhog party.
Can you believe it?
I can't. Groundhog Gus, when we wake up, because, it's February and spring is coming, it means we're a little bit frisky.
Wait. Give each other a hug now. You've met each other. Okay.
And you can come visit us in Spar Bernstein anytime.
All right, Sam. I think that's enough spotlight for you today. It was a lot of fun being with you, and then maybe we'll come back next year. What do you think?
Oh, Brad, that would be wonderful. Thank you so much for coming out with me. This is really my special day, and I'm so glad I got to share it with you. You're the best.
Well, I promised Sam we'd go back next year, but it was so much groundhog for 1 year. I think we had enough groundhog for 2 years.
So you'll go back
we'll
next
go
year?
Next year,
Okay.
yes. All right, let's put 1:10 on the clock. We'll do our speed round.
All
Try
right.
not to blow this place up. Looks like the studio is fine, but looks like they blew up the control room. Nope, the control room is back.
It's back. So did we agree that I don't have to say their names now?
No, you do not have to say their names. Whatever we need to do to get as quickly through 10 questions in 1 minute and 10 seconds. Go.
I filed a vow with separated wife, and now we're called for a marriage-based interview. Should I go with her?
No.
Can one apply for adjustment of status, the I-130 online, and then file the I-485 later?
Yes.
How much do I have to make for a family of 5 if I want to file for my mom who's not a citizen? I'm a citizen.
20,000 times 4,000 times 4. So that's 36,000.
How long do they usually take to review a DS-260 after all documents are submitted?
About 8 weeks.
NBC asked me to submit previous marriage termination documents. Can I add them to previously CAAC documents upload page or mail it?
No, you can upload it.
How long after doing the biometrics for adjustment of status can you expect your work permit?
About 90 days.
Does your conditional green card normally come with your spouse's last name?
It should sometimes.
Does the ban on Nigerian immigration affect the people already residing in the U.S.?
Yes.
Will the Nigerian ban stop my Nigerian-born wife's I-130?
Yes.
What's the poverty line if you're petitioning for one person?
Or 21,000. 20,000. Yeah, we did it. We did it. By the way, there was one question I just want to make clear. What was one or two first questions? Because I want to just make it clear. Give me go through the questions very quickly.
I filed a vow with my separated wife. And
yeah, that was it. Right, with my separated wife. You're not going to go with your separated wife because they're going to start asking her about the abuse that you claimed you were having.
Oh,
What a dumb idea that would be, right?
that wouldn't be good.
You just show up for yourself.
All right.
All right, comments of the day. Comments of the day.
That was pretty good.
What do we got for comments of the day, Yonathan?
All right, everybody. Our first comment of the day comes from St. K. White saying, finally, all those lonely nights are over. My nightcap is here. Squat up, y'all. Hope you're feeling better, Brad.
Yes, thank you as I'm coughing.
Whoa.
Thank you as I'm coughing. But I'm okay. Yes, I'm feeling better. I won't give you a hug today.
Yeah, please don't.
Yes.
Because we hug after every show.
All right. By the way, that is false news. Yonathan and I are not hugging it. We have never hugged each other ever, I don't think.
No.
Have we ever hugged each other?
We probably have. No,
Maybe
we
once
have.
or twice.
Yeah,
like a bro hug.
Yeah, of course.
Right, but that's it. Yeah.
All right, our second comment of the day is talking about the Super Bowl halftime show. Marjig saying, I like the idea with the kids in the cage and the lights at the back appear to be a fence. Read between the lines, y'all.
That's right.
Yes.
Somebody caught that.
I love that because, a lot of people didn't
see it. Right.
Yeah, they were just like, oh my God, that's J-Lo's daughter.
That's right.
But there's a lot more than that. Our third comment of the day, I love this. In honor of Black History Month, Terry D. Slim Ass saying, hashtag Marcus Garvey, hashtag Bob Marley, hashtag Nelson Mandela, hashtag Martin Luther King Jr., hashtag Malcolm X, hashtag Samuel Sharp, hashtag Sidney Poitier, hashtag Cicely Tyson, et al. What's that? I don't know what that is. But
et al.
Oh.
And everybody else and everybody else.
Oh, I love it.
Yes, I like
love
that too.
I was actually going to say, give some hashtags of your favorite Black History Month legends. So that was awesome. Thank you for that. And our last comment of the day comes from Sandra Salinas saying, while you were out, Brad, Brad Bernstein, I binged watched this weekend back when you had curly hair. You're like wine fine with time.
Wow,
Ooh.
yes. I did have, it was more wavy than curly, but yes.
But she said you're like fine wine. You're wine fine with time.
Thank you. That's very nice.
That's
very
really nice.
That is very nice. I've been told that already.
Yup.
But not by Sandra Slitas,
Right.
but I mean, I've been told that I'm better looking now at this age than I was younger.
Yeah, I feel the same with me. I was horrible when I was younger, so that's a good thing.
It's a good thing. I guess I aged like a fine wine.
There you go.
All right, we'll see you all on Wednesday Hump Day. Thanks for watching. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein Law Firm, located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465. What are you doing?